Have a show of hand. Most of you have biological background? A little bit, Okay, because I think my coverage will be mostly on the chemistry aspect of the system, but then at a certain part, I will refer to the cells. So some of the like RE system, the reticular and endothelial system. These are just terms, but it's not important. Okay, it's not very important aspect. Just that within the cell organisms, sometimes I refer to it. Okay, just for introduction. So this is mixture of enroll in the same chart. I think this is an essential course in your MLS program, so you can't drop. Okay. All right. So for this course, there will be 2 lecturers. Okay, the other one will be Dr. Tan Swee Ning. So for my part, I will be covering mostly the chemistry aspect of the system, which is your the first few weeks I will cover the method management we are going to cover today, introduction to the ligands and also the method management. Basically, it's the iron management in our body. And then second lesson I will cover the oxygen carrier proteins, basically the hemoglobin. Okay, how does cooperative binding comes into play to transport oxygen to the cells for cellular respiration. And then third lesson will be on metabolic enzyme 1. So we will cover carboxyl peptidase A, alcohol dehydrogenase, and also carbonic anhydrase. And then lesson 4 will be further coverage of the metabolic enzyme, which is the superoxide dismutase and the coenzyme B12. Okay, and then another session will be for electron transport proteins. Okay, the iron cytochromes, how to generate energy, ATP in our body. Hello?
Sorry.
It's okay. And then the last one will be on serine proteases, chenotoxic, how hydrolysis of peptides take place. Okay, if you look at the schedule, right, it's on the blackboard, right? There's one lesson on 27, which is no class. Auto September, this is to cater for you want to attend the other course. I think it's this one.
922.
What is that? Biosensor or is it?
Separation
Separation technique. Yeah, because I think we there's one invited lecturer here, so he will take the entire week. So that's why you have to take up my slot also. So the week I will post because there's an e-learning component for this course. So Dr. Tan and I, we will put some e-learning materials. Okay, and then eventually, we have not agreed yet, but you will see the questions based on the e-learning materials, which is about 10 marks to 15 marks. Okay, which is a lot in the exam paper. So exam format will be four questions. Okay, no choice, you have to do all the 4 questions. Okay, and then I think one small component will be on the e-learning material. So do not skip the e-learning material. And there's one assignment. Okay, if you all go to the website, I already posted the assignment. Okay, and then even the instructions and the rubrics for the assignment. So the assignment will be to be submitted on the actual exam day. Okay, so you have the entire semester to complete the assignment.
Does it include the practical?
Yeah, same thing. So on the practical, on the actual exam date, right, I will put the two box for you. One to submit your assignment. The other one is to submit your two practicals. Okay. So 2 practicals on my part. One will be on SOD. The other one will be on the ion transport system. Okay. So so exam is 50%, and then the assignment and the practical reports will make up 50% also. Right. Based on the new system, the exam is 50%. Okay, any questions on the course info? Okay, so let us begin the journey. Hey. It takes a while to warm up. Okay, so in our body system, right, we know that the most important elements, okay, that is responsible for the bodily function and also our body structure is the carbon, nitrogen, CHN, carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. So they are the building blocks for our proteins, carbohydrates, nucleic acids, and lipids. So these are the most important, the bulk elements that are found in our body. Phosphorus is so important because phosphorus is implicated in the ATP synthesis, which is needed for energy production. Okay, but besides that, the main important elements, we also have 13 trace metals that are essential in plants and animals. So we are going to cover some of these elements. For example, sodium and potassium, they can be found in the sodium and potassium pump. And normally they are located in the nervous system. Okay, so through influx of sodium and potassium, it will modulate the electrical signal sent within the nervous system. So sodium and potassium, they are very important. Okay, so our body also maintains a very balanced state of sodium and potassium. Okay, it's very important to regulate all these pumps so that we can function properly. Okay, we can flex our hand, all this nervous system. Okay. Magnesium is present in chlorophyll, okay, to harness the energy. Calcium, we know, is present in the teeth, okay, in the hair for structural support, and also it's also implicated in the triggering of muscle. Okay, you need calcium to flex the muscles. So this is also important for calcium. Okay, I'm just giving a brief introduction on some of the functions of the metals. Vanadium, chromium, molybdenum, not so important. I'm not cover that. Iron is very important. Okay, iron we know is found in the hemoglobin, which is responsible for transporting oxygen to the cells for cellular function. So they are found in the oxygen transport protein. They are also found in the iron cytochromes, which is part of the electron transport system required for the generation of energy. So iron is a very important element, so we'll study that in detail also. Cobalt is found in a cyanocobalamin, okay, or vitamin B12. Okay, they act as cofactors and they work together with an enzyme that catalyze isomerization reaction. So that means they function as cofactors in enzymes that catalyze isomerization reactions. Okay, this one we'll study in detail also. Copper, it is found in the superoxide dismutase system, SOD system, and they are very important because they are the first line of defense against reactive oxygen species. We'll cover that also. So they serve as a detoxifying mechanism for us. Okay, because if you are on the topic of electron transport chain, you will see that sometimes the electrons are leaked out from a system and will generate reactive oxygen species. And this reactive oxygen species can actually cause cellular damage. But we have a SOD system that can help to convert all these reactive oxygen species into neutral, non-toxic form like water. Okay, so copper is also found in the blue copper protein that function as a electron transport proteins in plants. Okay, last one, zinc. Zinc is very important. It's a super acid. Okay, it has Lewis acidity and it's a non-redox active metal center. Okay, it's always a zinc 2+. You cannot oxidize to zinc 3+, or you cannot reduce to zinc 1. So it's a non-redox center, superacid. Okay, so it plays a very important role in the enzymatic reactions in our body. Okay, they can catalyze formation of new bonds, or they can catalyze hydrolysis reaction. Okay, so these are some of the functions that are important for bulk elements. So we will cover mostly iron, cobalt, copper, zinc. Okay, I will not be touching on the photosynthesis aspect, plant mechanism which harness the energy to form carbohydrate. Okay, so these are some of the methods that we will focus on this course. Okay, so this slide is just a recap of what I've discussed. Structural formation, endo and exoskeletons. Bioluminescence basically refers to your calcium. Charge carriers for information transfer refers to your sodium and potassium pump found in the nervous system. Okay, active transport involve the actual transport mechanism. Catalysts for reactions and formation of organic compounds and activation of substrate. So this one refers to your zinc, superacid. Okay, being a Lewis acids, they can actually bind to your substrates. Okay, in most cases you will see that on binding to the substrate, it will activate the substrate for transformation reaction. Okay, it will make it more reactive. Transfer electrons for short-term energy conversion. This one refers to your ion cytochromes, which is found in the electron transport chain. Okay, you will cover this how you can generate energy, ATP through the ATP pump. Electrons being transferred, and then it's eventually used to generate energy. Okay, any questions? Okay, so before we can go into all the proteins or all the metallobiomolecules that are responsible for important functions in our body, we need to cover some basic fundamentals of ligands. Okay, so in all the systems that I'm going to cover, there will always be a metal center. Okay, so the metal center is surrounded by the organic component. Okay, it's like an enzyme. Okay, the enzyme will have a 3D conformation, and then near the active site you will have a metal center, and that is where the substrate will enter the active site. Reaction is being catalyzed, and the product is being released from the active site. So there's a metal center, and you have the biological environment. Okay, now I'll use the biological environment. So we call it metallobiomolecules. Biomolecules refers to carbohydrate, proteins, and lipids. Okay. So these are the three types of bioligands that can be found in the biological system. The first one is proteins. Basically, they are 3D conformation of biomolecule that are generated by alpha amino acids. Okay, proteins we know are muscles. Okay, albumin. All these are proteins. Macrocyclic ligands. Okay, the porphyrin ring. The porphyrin ring can be found in the hemoglobin. Porphyrin ring. Okay. So this can be found in the hemoglobin. It is a macrocyclic, synthesized only in bacterial and plants and algae. Okay, and it's synthesized from glutamic acids. Okay, but you can actually buy it commercially, porphyrin ring. Nucleic acids basically refers to the nucleobases, your ATGC, adenine, thymine, guanosine, and cytosine, ATGC. All these nitrogen-containing heterocycles can also serve as ligands. Okay, but our focus will be on number 1 and number 2, the proteins and the macrocyclic system. But they are bioligand, the bio component of the metallo protein or metallo enzyme. Yeah, I'll use this word. So the series is metallobiomolecule, metalloprotein. That means the protein is the bioligand, and then the metalloenzyme. Okay, it's like kind of the broadest class is the metallobiomolecule. That means carbohydrate, protein, lipid, nucleic acid. But then we'll zoom into metalloprotein. That means we're focusing only on the protein bioligand. And then for metalloprotein, we will go into the action which is on metalloenzyme. Okay. So let us recap on proteins. Proteins, the most diverse group of biological micromolecules made out of 20 amino acids. Okay, alpha amino acids. Why are you called alpha amino acids? Because of this. In each alpha amino acid, you will have a carboxylic acid and your amino. R group is your side chain. Okay, so there are 20 essential amino acids. They are very important in the system. Okay, alpha amino acids. They are called alpha because any carbon that is adjacent to the functional group, we call it alpha carbon. Okay, in organic chemistry, any carbon that is alpha adjacent or next to the functional group, we will label it as an alpha. So this alpha carbon is next to the amino and the carboxylic acid. These are the two main functional groups. So it's called alpha amino acids. So they will join together, okay, via peptide linkage or amide bonds. So how it works is our DNA, the DNA, right? It contains all the coding. Okay, so the first, actually, if you know bio background, right? I did biotech before. I forgot a lot of my bio. Okay, my background, I'm not from the A level, so I graduated from Poly with a diploma in biotech. Then I went to do my BSc. Okay, just digress a bit. So after NS, National Service, I went to NS. So I like bio. I always like bio. Okay, since Sec 1, right? Oh, my bio top form. So went to NS, then went to NUS. I cannot memorize anymore. Somehow NS changed my mindset. So I cannot memorize anymore. I switched to chemistry. So if you look at bio, right? The DNA, right? They have DNA. So every 3 base pair is called a codon. So they will code for the amino acids that come in. So the first, okay, they have a system like ATs, AGC, lysine or whatever. Whatever is the DNA template. Okay, this is called translation. So they will line up. First one lysine, second one alanine. Then the protein synthase will catalyze the amide. And the next one maybe cysteine, then arginine, then glutamic acid. So they catalyze the peptide linkage. So can you see this is how our DNA codes for the protein? That's why we have some have blue eyes, some has brown eyes. Okay, it's because of the DNA information. Same thing, some can roll the tongue, some can't, right? Actually, I still remember some of bio knowledge. So you see, the DNA is very important. It catalyzes the peptide linkage. So this is how the protein is being generated. So at the end, right, when they release at the end, okay, at the end of the synthesis, right, there will be a signal will tell you, okay, stop. This is the then the long chain of polypeptide. Okay, it will be released from the system, right? So this long chain, right, is basically your primary structure, linear structure. Given any proteins, right, any protein, you just take the protein, you look for the N terminal and the C terminal, you stretch it. Okay, it's like the ball. Okay, you look for the N terminal, you look for C terminal, you pull the long strand. That one is known as a primary structure. Okay, so primary structure basically will tell us the sequence. Okay, so once released, right, it will fold into secondary structure, and then finally the tertiary structure, which is your 3D conformation. So it's very important. Based on the sequence of the amino acids, they will fold accordingly to give us the 3D conformation. And this 3D conformation will be responsible for the function of the metalloenzyme or metalloprotein. Because along the way, of course, they will also insert the metal center. Okay? So this is how the protein is being formed in our body. So linear chain of amino acids, they will fold, and then to give us a 3D component, we will look at the type of structures: primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary structure in the world. Okay, so just about everything except have multiple rows about everything except encode genetic information. Okay, so they are found everywhere, proteins. Okay, except the genetic information. That one is The one is basically on nuclear basis. Okay, how final 3D structure form is still not well understood, but they propose there are some interactions that are responsible for the folding mechanism. Okay, so let us look at, so this is the same thing, structure of alpha amino acids. There are 20 different types, and they differ by the R group. So this is the one that they will change. So, two general categories for amino acids, polar and non-polar. Okay, polar, non-polar is very straightforward, contains only carbon, hydrogen. Polar, it must contain oxygen or nitrogen because of the different electronegativity. The bond is polar, like carboxylic acid, AC double bond O, right? Because of the inductive effect, that's why we call it polar amino acids. Non-polar is all the hydrocarbons. Okay, under polar, we have acidic, basic, and neutral also. Or weakly acidic. Okay? So I think under acidic, we have aspartic acid, glutamic acid. Under basic, we have histidine, lysine, arginine. Under weakly acidic, we have serine, OH, pyroxene, and also threonine. Okay, the rest are the valine, alanine, phenylalanine, and I think most of them react. These are all the non-polar. Okay, tryptophan, L-proline. Okay, I think I'm almost halfway there. So you don't have to know the structure of all amino acids, but only certain structure I will let you know in the slides later on. Okay, so you look at all the amino acids. There are 20 and naturally occurring L amino acids, L and D. Just like sugar, there's D sugar and L sugar. Natural occurring sugars are D sugar, D glucose, D galactose, D fructose. These are all the natural occurring sugars. But in proteins, right, it's opposite. It's L amino acids. In amino acids, it's opposite. It's L amino acids. Why? Actually, how it comes about is you look at the nitrogen group. Okay, if it's on the left hand side, it's L. If it's on the right hand side, it's D. Left hand side, left. L-E-F-T, right? So it's L, left. This is how you name L and D. You look at the most electronegative group. Okay, if it's on the left hand side, it's L. If the amino group is on the right hand side, it's D. Just like your sugar, same thing. Sugar. CHO, right, left, right. CH2OH. Okay. So look at the last carbon. Actually, look at the last carbon atom. Look at the OH group. If it's on the right, it's D. If it's on the left, it's L. Left is start with L, right? So in this case, it's on the right. So it's a D. This is D. This is the structure of D glucose. Okay. Look at the last carbon atom and the most electronegative atom. Okay. So in this case, if it's on the right, it's D. But you look here, your N electronegative atom is on the left, so it's L amino acids. Okay. I always try to remember the D. Then I know amino acids is opposite. Okay. There's another fun fact about amino acids. What are the, based on the structure, right? Okay, I think you can't see if you what is the configuration of the carbon? We know that this carbon is chiral, right? A chiral carbon is a carbon attached to 4 different groups. Okay, just to recap some of the fundamentals of organic chem. So based on the structure here, what is the stereochem of all these amino acids? Do you still assign R and S? Possible? You all should have chemistry background, right? So you assign the priority, right, using the simple one, okay? Using this except glycine. 19 amino acids are chiral except glycine. Glycine is this is fun fact, I won't test you. Glycine is the one that is a non-chiral or achiral amino acids. The rest are all chiral because the alpha carbon is bonded to 4 different functional groups. Okay, we use alanine as most easy, simple. Okay, if you assign chiral center, right? it's based on the atomic number. So nitrogen is top priority, yeah. So nitrogen is 1, carboxyl is 2, 3, hydrogen lowest priority. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the lowest priority must be pointing away from you. So in this case, the hydrogen is in dotted line, it's pointing away. So if you draw the steering wheel right, 1, 2, 3, can you see? 1 connect to 2, connect to 3, so it's turning left or right? Steering wheel. Turning left, right. Okay, S. Turning right, R. Because right start with R, right? So if turn right is R, turn left will be S. Okay, so another fun fact, 19 amino acids are chiral. All the amino acids have the S configuration except for one. Cysteine. Okay, cysteine is the odd one out. Okay? All amino acids have the S configuration except for cysteine. This cysteine has the R configuration. Okay, if you assign priority group right is 1. This carbon is bonded to sulfur. This carbon is bonded to 2 oxygen. But you don't add up. Sulfur is higher, right? So 1, 2, 3. So cysteine is R. Okay? These are some of the fun facts about amino acids. Right? So this is all the structures of the amino acids. Okay, I will tell you precisely what are the amino acids that you need to memorize. Okay? Now, okay, as I mentioned, amino acids form peptides, condensation reaction between 2 amino, and so this is what happened. Condensation is a removal of a small molecule. In this case, in the form of water. Okay? I will not ask you to drag down this reaction. So it's very organic. Okay? So this is what happened. How you catalyze how you synthesize the peptide linkage, which is amide linkage also. So this is a peptide linkage. Okay? So this is a peptide linkage, which is an amide linkage. Okay, so the R group, they differ with acidic, basic, weakly acidic, or neutral. And by convention, when you write down the structure of a linear chain or primary structure, the N terminus is always on the left. C terminus is always on the right, by convention. Okay? How you read the primary structure is N terminus on the left, C terminus on the right. Okay? So, N terminus, this is the molecular model sort of 2D representation of it. Okay, so this is the primary structure, linear chain of the proteins. When hydrogen bonding takes place on the peptide backbone, listen up, the second structure is formed when hydrogen bonding takes place within the peptide backbone. Okay, that means, you see this is the peptide bond, peptide bond. So if hydrogen bonding takes place between the peptide linkage of adjacent chain, okay, then you will create 2 secondary structures. So secondary structures of proteins are formed when hydrogen bonding takes place between the backbone or the peptide backbone of the primary structure. In keeping hydrogen bonding between the peptide backbone, it must be only come from the peptide linkage. No other R group. Because R group also contain carboxylic acid, aspartic acid, glutamic acid, they contain carboxylic acid as the R group. Arginine and the other one, arginine and lysine, they contain NH2. Okay, no. So when there's hydrogen bonding taking place between the peptide linkage, you will generate 2 possible secondary structures. One of them is the alpha helix, and the other one is the beta pleated sheet. Okay, so you look at the structure here. So this is the alpha helix, and this is the alpha pleated sheet. Okay, alpha helix, beta pleated sheet. And it can be parallel. Parallel means NNCC, or it can be anti-parallel, NCNC. Okay? So this type of hydrogen bonding will be detected by the R group. Okay? So if they want alpha or beta beta sheet, they will already discharge away that they can fold on itself to form the alpha helix or the beta beta sheet. Okay? So these are some other examples. You see there's hydrogen bonding between the peptide backbone to give us the alpha helix, beta beta sheet. Okay, now go to the last, not the last now, the next level, which gives us a 3D conformation. So 4 types of interactions are responsible for the 3D conformation of the protein. Okay, the protein will never exist as a linear chain. They will always fold on itself to give us the 3D structure. So some proteins are chiral. Okay, because of our group, they are all chiral in nature, right? So proteins are chiral. That's why it's a lock and key model. Yeah, I think our tongue can only taste, same thing, our tongue can only taste only either D sugar. Okay, I think if you use the other enantiomer, it tastes differently. There's one umami taste. There's a new one, umami taste. Oh, because of our receptor on the tongue, right, it tastes it as umami. But some of them taste bitter. Okay, so it's very important, the 3D conformation. So first one is hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding between, okay, our first one is very straightforward. Disulfide linkage between cysteine residue. Okay, so this is the one. The R group of cysteine is CH2SH. Okay, when they are oxidized, right, they will form disulfide linkage. SH come together, removal of 2 hydrogen will give us the disulfide linkage. So the first one is disulfide linkage. They are the strongest covalent bond of all the 4 interactions that are accountable for the tertiary structures. The disulfide linkages are the most strongest among them because they are covalent bond. Okay. The second one, electrostatic attraction between acidic and basic R group. So this is the one. Okay. So here, can you see that it's like a sodium chloride, Na plus Cl minus. It's a salt bridge. So this one comes from aspartic acids. This one comes from lysine. I think so. Should be. So you see there's electrostatic interaction of salt bridges. Third one, hydrogen bonding between nitrogen, oxygen containing side group. So you look here, hydrogen bond. You can see that in this case the hydrogen bond comes from the R group, not from the peptide backbone. Peptide backbone will give us the secondary structure. Here it is from the R group. So this is between 2 serine amino acids. Okay. And then there's one more, right? This is the secondary. Any more? This is another one. This is from the side group and the peptide linkage, peptide backbone. So hydrogen bonding, as long as it contains OH, NH2, C double bond O, they can participate in hydrogen bonding. And the last one is, as long as there's carbon, hydrogen, they will participate in van der Waals interaction. Okay? Here, van der Waals interaction is here. So phenylalanine and isoleucine. This one, another one, all the CH non-polar group. They will come together and form the van der Waals interactions. So four type reaction are disulfide linkage, hydrogen bonding, salt bridges, and the last one, van der Waals interaction. They will account for your tertiary structure. They will fall into 3D structure. Sometimes it's not enough. Okay, I can one 3D structure, another 3D structure they will interact to form the next highest level, quaternary. It's like your hemoglobin. Okay, myoglobin, only one sub we need. Myoglobin, right? Myoglobin is another oxygen carrier protein that is only found in the muscle. Okay, myoglobin. So it's only one subunit. But in our normal cells, right, we have the red blood cells contain hemoglobin. Hemoglobin basically there are 4 subunits. They come together, 2 alpha chain and 2 beta chain. They interact with each other to form the quaternary structure. That means when 2 or more 3D structure aggregate together, they will form the quaternary structure. Okay? So primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, and then when they come together, right, they will form the quaternary structure. Basically, this is hemoglobin. Okay? There are 4 subunits. Right? So each subunit contains 1 heme group. Heme group is the site that will bind to the oxygen. So there are 4 heme groups in 1 hemoglobin molecule. Or you can also say that 1 hemoglobin molecule can bind to 4 molecules of oxygen. So that's why it's a very efficient oxygen transport protein. Okay, 1 molecule of hemoglobin can bind to 4 oxygen molecules, and it can be transported to the cells. Okay, so last level is the quaternary structure. Okay, so this is a subunit of myoglobin. Okay, so this is we cover bioligand, right? So this is the bioligand. The green color refers to a bioligand, which is your protein, and the pink color is your iron atom, and then there's a surrounded by the porphyrin ring. Okay, I think I have a very simplified version. So alpha helix. Okay, so this is so beta shape, all this. Okay, as a result, this reaction, most proteins adopt a globular shape or a more linear or fiber structure. Okay, globular shape mostly for enzyme. Okay, hemoglobin, insulin, enzyme. Albumin, called the compact, roughly spherical shape. Generally soluble in water and mobile in solution. Okay, so for globular, right, we are more concerned with this because the enzymes are all globular. We need to be water soluble. So the pH is important, and the water also provides the protons necessary for the reaction. And then all those long chain they are found in fibrous proteins. Collagens, keratin consist of polypeptide chain arranged side by side in long filaments. They are normally the beta shape. Okay, half is insoluble in water, hence used as structural materials the skin tendons. Okay, these are some fiber, muscle fibers. The muscle is alpha helix coil. Okay, so this is another representation of hemoglobin, myoglobin, and the 4 men come together is hemoglobin. Okay, so we call just a recap. You need what I covered is all the primary, secondary, tertiary structure and construction of proteins. Okay, and also the structure of alpha amino acids. Some of the R groups are important. I'm going to highlight things that you need to memorize for the course. Okay, now we have covered the bioligand part, which is your protein. Macrocyclic is here. I thought there's no macrocyclic. Is there a slide on macrocyclic? This is basically your porphyrin ring. There are 2 bioligands that we are concerned with. The first one is your protein, second one is your macrocyclic. In this case, the porphyrin ring. Okay, so let's go back. So metallobiomolecules. Metallo means it contains the metal. Biomolecules can be proteins, macrocyclic, or nucleic acid. But that's why they use the word biomolecules. Cover protein, carbohydrate, lipids, and nucleic acid. Okay, so a metallobiomolecule contains 1 or more strongly bonded metal ions as part of its molecular structure. This is important now. The metal ion is held in place at the active site by amino acids that contain either nitrogen, oxygen, or sulfur donor atoms. Okay? So if I just draw a simple let's go back to your question. Okay, this is important. NOS donor atoms. They are very important. They are the NOS containing amino acids. They are the amino acids that actually hold the metal ion in place within the bioligand. Okay? Without this NOS donor atoms, right, the metal ion will not be held in place, it will drop out. So to simplify the structure of myoglobin, this structure. Okay, the round part is your porphyrin ring. So in the exam, you are asked to discuss about active site of myoglobin. Okay, this is all you need to draw for the iron and the porphyrin ring. This is known as the heme group. H-E-M-E. I think it's either British or English. You know, it's a heme group. Okay. So this is the heme group. Okay, just a porphyrin ring with the iron in the center. But I will come later. Once I talk for 1.5 hour, normally I will cough also. It's a normal reflex. Like today, I start 9:30. When I reach 11:30 mark, I keep coughing. Then my students say, I think it's time for you to stop. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So this is the heme group. Okay, the heme group is secure on the bioligand. Can you see that? By one important amino acid, which is your histidine. So this is the one. Okay, I'm trying to illustrate the importance of nitrogen. So of course this one we know that this one will be the joint to the peptide, then will fall around. This is only one of the amino acids in the primary structure. That means if I take that, if I find the N terminals and the C terminal, I stretch. One of the histidine is present in the primary structure. Then fold in such a way that it coordinates with your heme group. And this is known as the proximal histidine. It's a very important histidine. Okay, this is the proximal histidine moiety that hold the heme group in place within the one subunit of hemoglobin or myoglobin. Okay, if this is not present, right, the heme group will not be secure, and then there will be no oxygen transport to the cells. Right? Can you see? That's why this example illustrates the point here. Go ahead, please. Okay, so this illustrates the point here. The metal ion is attached to the biomolecule via monoatoms NOS. O can be serine or thyroxine. Sulfur has to be cysteine or methionine. Okay? So O can be thyroxine or threonine. And one more, serine, 3. These are 3 amino acids that contain O monoatoms. And sulfur is either cysteine or methionine. N is the lysine arginine. Okay? When I study this in biotech, poly days, right, I'm asked to memorize all the structures of amino acids. Right? And then when we study natural metal, right, we are asked to memorize the periodic table. I don't know whether you're asked to memorize the periodic table. Scandium, platinum, vanadium, chromium, iron, cobalt. You're asked to memorize the first 2 rows. I mean, I think. But now different. When they attend my classes, right, I will provide. So I will provide the periodic table for them. Okay. So for here, right, I just need you all to learn 3 or 4 structures for you to illustrate. Like histidine. Now you know already. Histidine. You need to know how to draw the histidine R group. This is actually imidazole. this is the R group for histidine, which is the imidazole. This functional group by itself is imidazole. Okay, but it's the side group, it's a side chain for histidine. So first thing you must learn to draw this, right? I cannot draw this for you. If I draw all this for you, right, then you just plug and play. Okay, so this is the simplified version of myoglobin. So second topic, right? You must learn how to draw this. Okay, because the question is quite standard for the oxygen carrier protein. The second topic. Okay, the collision number of the metal is usually 4. 4 can be tetrahedral. 5 can be square pyramidal or trigonal bipyramidal. Okay, 6 is the best for transition metal, octahedral. Okay, if you look at the structure here, it's all I think below here. So trigonal planar, tetrahedral. I don't think we will see this often. Trigonal planar, most of the time it's tetrahedral, octahedral, square pyramidal. The most common encountered geometries are tetrahedral, very common. All the zinc containing metal enzymes. Zinc likes tetrahedral geometry. So zinc, octahedral, and square pyramidal. So these are the 3 most commonly encountered geometries in the structure system. Okay? So clear? The metal ion attached. So in the topics when you encounter this type of structure, right, I'm referring to the active site. That means it's just a small part of the entire molecule. So if I draw this, right, that means I'm referring to this part only. The rest of the bioligand, we are not interested because it doesn't catalyze reactions or it does not facilitate any useful function except the 3D environment. Okay, sometimes it does, it provides the environment so that certain like carbon monoxide cannot come in. Okay, endogenous poison. So when you see this sort of structure, we are referring to the active site of the biomolecule, Metallobiomolecule. Okay, it's not that this is the enzyme. Okay, this is not the enzyme, this is the active site. So this is the active site for carbonate anhydrase, CPA, carboxylic amylase A. This is alcohol dehydrogenase. This is found in the iron blue copper proteins, and this one I think is found in chromium. Anyway, these are we will cover this when we are on the topic of metalloenzymes. Okay, so these are all the important N donors, O donors, S donors. So these are all the important amino acids that secure the metal ion within the bioligand. Get it? Okay, let me just draw this up. So when this is deoxyhemoglobin, okay, I will not go further than this. Actually, there is another histidine, but that one we will cover. So whenever you are asked to write short notes or explain how the enzymes work, or maybe describe the catalytic site of the particular enzyme, it has to be as detailed as possible. Okay, in order to get the full credit. The first thing you must tell the identity of the metal ion. So let's say if this is oxyhemoglobin. Oxy because the active site is bound to your oxygen molecule. So this is oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin. Okay. So identity of metal ion. Iron. Number and nature of ligands attached to the metal. So in this case, offering the 4 nitrogen atoms of the porphyrin ring, the nitrogen atom of the histidine residue. Okay, this one is not nitrogen, it's substrate. This one is a substrate. Okay, if it's oxygen, you can put down the oxygen molecule, which is bound as superoxide. This is a superoxide. Okay. So number and nature of ligands are porphyrin, histidine residue, and the bound oxygen as a superoxide. Colloidal geometry around the metal. What's the geometry of this? Octahedral. Okay, octahedral. Oxygen state of metal 3. Number of metal ions at the metal containing site. This is tricky. 4. Because there are 4 heme group for hemoglobin. This is just as one site we need. So there are number of iron 4 iron and 4 heme group, or 4 ion containing heme groups in the molecule of hemoglobin. Okay, environment within the metal containing site. There is a distal histidine. That one we'll cover when I'm next week. Okay. Got it? So very important thing of this slide, when you ask to describe the activity site of the particular enzyme, all this information must be penned down. Right? Okay, this is the part I think you will not like it. These are the structures of amino acids that you need to know. Is the pace okay? Am I going too slow? Okay. So histidine, aspartate or aspartic acid, glutamate or glutamic acid, cysteine, methionine, and pyroxene. It's very simple actually. Only this is a more difficult one. CH2, one more CH2, cysteine, one more CH2 is tryptophan, always. Okay? That's what pyroxene one. Tryptophan is the control. Alright. So the binding mode of amino acids. How the NOS donor atoms coordinate to your metal center. These are the various binding modes of NOS containing amino acids. Okay, this one. Okay, these are the important one that you encounter. So you can put a tick there. First one. Third one. First one. This one, third one. This one. This one also magnetic. And this one, pyroxene. Okay, I'll repeat. This one, magnetic, pyroxene. Okay. Okay, look at the. Yeah, you need me to repeat.
You need to memorize the structure.
You will learn it. Once you draw the structure of the enzyme, you will know how to draw it. Okay. Right. Okay, now look at this. Look at your histidine. Okay, I always encourage you to revisit your BSc knowledge. Why there are 2 nitrogen atoms, right? How come the coordination is always on this nitrogen atom and not on the nitrogen atom with NH? That means, this is how it works. This is how the coordination is always on this nitrogen. Why Na and not Nb? Both contain lone pairs, right? Why Na and not Nb?
So because at B it is too sterically crowded.
This is planar. The draw is planar. So not so. If this is methyl group, then it's sterically hindered. But if this is a methyl group, CH3, then it will be sterically Kindle, but that's not the real reason. You have any idea why?
Is it?
Why the N is always the N and not the other NH? Anyone has an answer? Be a guess? I'm trying to encourage interactive lessons.
Because of double bond.
Yeah, double bond to a certain extent, yes.
The orbitals.
Yeah, orbitals, correct. Yeah, you are close. Hey, there's one year I said this. I never discussed this in class. Oh, I'll tell you, I take the marks. I change the marks. So ever since that, I think when I taught before, I think this is my 10th time, 10 round. So I think the first time I just said this. This is the budding mode of yesterday. Why which one, why the N does not coordinate? No one can give me the answer. So ever since that, I will introduce this in class. So why orbitals, right? You mention orbitals, then the other is orbital. What's the other?
Double bond.
Double bond. Yes, double bond. So this part. Okay. Anything else?
Na is more nucleophilic because of the conjugation.
Na is more nucleophilic conjugation with.
The double bonds.
Okay, another way come in play is conjugation, but that's not the reason. The Na is part of the double bond system, but it's not in conjugation. Conjugation is this is conjugation. Conjugation. Okay, maybe you get the answer to the exam. Okay, so if you I will explain so if you see some question it's for you to catching my marks. So for two nitrogen atoms, right? Do you all okay, I'll give you a hint now. I facilitate the learning process real. Okay. First thing, you all heard about the aromatic character? The Hacker rule? 4n plus 2 pi electrons. Hacker rule. Are you from chemistry background? No.
Heard before.
BSc from chemistry background, most of you.
Yeah, chemistry. Right.
Anyone from business or all from chemistry background, right?
Yes.
But many years ago.
Many years ago, I understand. So there's the rule called the Hacker rule, or the aromatic character, 4n plus 2 pi electrons. So in order to be termed as aromatic, right? The benzene ring is aromatic, Okay, benzene ring, This one is also part of the core structure. Why that nitrogen is only coordinates to the, it's more basic. Basic, that means when coordinates mean it's more basic. So there's this benzene ring, right? Okay. So this is conjugation. The other one is in conjugation. Okay, and it deals with orbital. So what you highlight, right? Conjugation, orbitals. What's another point? I think I'm bored. What's another point you discuss?
Double bond.
Double bond. So there are 6 pi electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are all in conjugation. So in order to be termed as aromatic compound, the aromatic compound is good. It provides additional aromatic stability. So every compound are very stable, like benzene ring. Okay, they are more stable than the cyclohexane because of the aromatic character. So the p orbital must be conjugation. It must be planar. So the first thing is it must be planar. Okay, the O monocyclic. Okay, p orbitals must be in conjugation. That means you cannot have a break in between. And the most important rule is the Hacker rule. It must contain 4n plus 2 pi electrons, where n is an integer. For information, my math is very bad. Okay, I think E math is it? Yeah, E math. Yeah. Then no more math for me. I thought it's like A math. E math. I stop at E math. So 4n plus 2, where n is an integer. So if n is equal to 1, that will be 6 pi electrons. So that's why benzene ring is aromatic, because it's planar. All the p orbitals are in conjugation. Okay, planar, monocyclic, planar, p orbitals in conjugation, and it contains 6 pi electrons, which obeys your Parker rule. Now, if you translate this to a molecule here, okay, so conjugation means the electrons can be localized to give us resonance structure. So here, it can be localized. I'll show you why. And A and B. Okay? So, number. So look at this. Of course, you can resonate further. Okay? Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So look at this. Planar, monocyclic, p orbitals these are the lone pair resides in the p orbital. So planar, monocyclic, p orbital in conjugation. How many pi electrons? 2, 4, 6. So this confer aromatic stability to the molecule. So in this case, the lone pair on nitrogen B, it will be delocalized into the ring to account for the aromatic character. Okay, you know that resonance structure, basically they are imaginary structures due to the delocalization of electrons. But if you draw, I think if I remember correctly, there will be another 1 or 2 resonance structure. In the natural form, right? It will delocalize, but most of them will stay in this more resonance stabilized structure. So you can see that the lone pair on nitrogen B is delocalized into the ring system to account for your aromatic character. So when it delocalizes into the ring system, it's no longer available for coordination to the metal center. Whereas the lone pair on nitrogen B, nitrogen A, is localized. It's always there. It doesn't gets delocalized into the ring system. So lone pair on nitrogen A is localized on nitrogen atom, therefore it will coordinate to your metal center. And because of this aromatic reason, then Na is more basic than Nb. And you will always see coordination on that nitrogen atom, but not on the other nitrogen atom. Okay, so if I give you some similar thing, look at the question, and if there's aromatic conjugation, delocalization effect, please explain to me why. Okay, sometimes it can be a triazo, 3 nitrogen atom, depending on the question. Okay, so it's basically due to the delocalization effect to account for the Parker aromatic character. It's no longer available for coordination to the metal center. Any question on this chemistry? No. Okay, good. Next one, macrocyclic ring. I mentioned already. Can only be synthesized in bacterial, algae, and plants, and it's synthesized from glutamic acid. Okay, now for metallobiomolecules, okay, we chuck away macrocyclic. We also chuck away nucleic acid. We zoom into proteins. That's why you call metalloproteins. So from this point onwards, we are dealing mostly with the metal that is surrounded by the protein bioligand. That's why it's called metalloprotein. Okay, so this is just a summary of electron transport, oxygen transport, characteristics of biochemical reactions, mainly hydrolysis and redox reactions. The metal ions are not found in the active site of the metalloproteins, okay, bottom of the clef. So you see, this is the same thing. Myoglobin, this is a lock and key model, okay, because of the chiral nature of amino acids. That's why proteins are chiral, because all the I mentioned, right, 19 amino acids are chiral. Just like sugar. Sugar also provide chiral environment. Okay, and so this is carboxy peptidase. This is a model of CPA, carboxy peptidase A. It catalyzes the hydrolysis of peptide linkage. Okay, can you see all these numbers here? These are the important amino acids that help to align the peptide bond of hydrolysis. You need to memorize this also. 148, 1145, 278, 270, and 248 actually. Okay, so this is the model of CPA. And three important amino acids are highlighted because they play a part in aligning your peptide linkage for hydrolysis reaction. Okay, this is, we know this. What is this? Iron with porphyrin ring. What group is this? Heme. Okay, so this is oxyhemoglobin. What is the geometry of oxyhemoglobin?
Octahedral.
How about deoxyhemoglobin?
Square pyramidal.
Square pyramidal. Okay, these two have very important implication on the cooperative binding. So this is iron 3, iron 2. Okay, so this is iron 3, this is iron 2. Upon binding, right, iron 2 is oxidized to iron 3. This is iron 2, iron 3. Okay, and this is your myoglobin, one subunit. Heme group is here. Okay? So when we discuss the metabolic enzyme, we are only metabology, we are only interested in this part. Okay? Okay? What is this? Wow, so lengthy. Okay, let's skip. Just skip. Skip. Skip also. These are all the, actually it's a repeat of what I discussed, all the functions of metabolic enzyme. Okay, now I won't tell you. Okay, this is bio. Okay? I can't memorize, so I don't think it's good to memorize for this. It's easier to memorize chemistry structure for me, maybe. Okay, so this is a summary. Okay, this is the part where I'm supposed to overwhelm students. Okay, last time I think this is not a this is an elective. I think so for this. So this is the part where I scan off. Add and drop. But you all have no choice. This one is called. Okay, you all can take towards the end of your candidature, but you still see me. Okay, I sign on already. So Metallobiomolecules, this one non-proteins. We will cover metal storage. We will cover siderophores and ion management system. Okay, you can highlight. Okay, I will not touch on chlorophyll. Okay, I will not touch on chlorophyll. I mentioned I'm not interested in advanced system. So I will not touch this part. Transport, storage. Okay, electron carriers, yes. We will be covering cytochromes, iron, sulfur. Actually all copper blues also. Metal management, we will be covering all also. Yeah. Oxygen management, all also. Okay, so these are all the things that I will cover over the 5 weeks. I think 5 contact hours, 5 weeks of contact. Hydrolysis only. This is the enzyme, metabolic enzyme. Only one. Carboxy peptidase here. Here only one. Superoxide dismutase. Here is vitamin B12. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 2 more, but it's not here. Which is your alcohol dehydrogenase. Should be parked here because it's a dehydrogenase. And also another one will be your carbonic anhydrase, hydration of carbon dioxide. Okay. carbonic anhydrase. Okay, we will cover, we will cover this now. Okay. So in summary, what I've covered, okay, important thing to note, you must know the R group or the side chain of histidine, arginine, pyroxene, cysteine. Okay, and also understand the concept of why in the histidine moiety, right, one of the NH nitrogen is non-basic. It doesn't participate in coordination with metal center. And also, metal center is held in place by the entire bioligand by NOS donor atoms. Okay, other than that, nothing much. Actually, I've been talking for 1.5 hours, nothing much. Okay, just sharing with you some of the experience. Okay, do you need a break?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, this is very biology based. So we will go slow, but actually all the things that I'm going to discuss on the slides. So it's common. I think there is I thought I have an animation to show you. That's on the oxygen carrier proteins. Okay. So it's logical sense, right? In our body system, right, and we need the matter must be immobilized immediately. Okay, for example, in the bone marrow, when they want to manufacture red blood cells, right? Okay, you call it in the porphyrin ring, but you need iron, right? You put it in the middle. So if I need to synthesize red blood cells, okay, you need to mobilize the iron fast to generate the red blood cells. Okay, but when the iron is not needed, right? Okay, it must be stored in a non-toxic manner. Because iron in the blood, right, they will be oxidized to iron 3. The iron 3 will participate in a phantom reaction. It will generate radicals that cause cellular damage. So you can see, I'm only focusing on iron management. Because the rest of the essential elements, right, how they are managed and stored in the body, they are not well understood. So only iron, okay, they manage only to cover the iron management system in our biological system. Okay, so iron must be stored in a safe, non-toxic manner. Okay, when I need it, it must be immobilized. So there must be a transport system that transport the iron to the site where it's needed. So that's why we are going to cover metal management in mammals. How iron is being managed in our body. Okay, so first thing, metals needed for metabolism must be extracted from the environment. So iron comes from our diet. After uptake, the metal must be transported to a site where this is needed or stored. Okay, excess metal must be stored in a harmless form. And when I need it, it must be made available immediately. I cannot wait. Okay, our system is in homeostasis, balanced state. Okay, simple action, right? There's so many neurons firing. So everything must be in a homeostasis state. So iron is very important. It is important for oxygen transport, of course, because it's a heme group. The iron must be placed in the middle of the porphyrin ring. Without iron, you cannot transport oxygen. That's it. Okay? Synthesis of DNA, because the DNA synthase is an iron-containing enzyme. So when you synthesize DNA, right, it's a phosphate diester bond. So you need the enzyme to catalyze the DNA. Okay, when DNA replication, right? Okay, you need the enzyme that's responsible for replication contain iron. Electron transport system, the iron cytochromes very important. Okay, they reduce the oxygen to water and energy. Okay, we breathe oxygen, right, and then it will eventually reduce to H2O, and then at the same time release the generate energy. So the iron transport proteins, they contain the transport proteins, electron transport proteins contain iron. So it's very important, iron. Okay, it's highly regulated due to the toxic form. Formation of oxygen levels by non-protein bound iron 2 has been implicated in cellular damage and disease. Okay. Actually, when the iron, when from a diet, right, we are taking iron 2. Okay, if the iron 2, it can be bound and stored or be used. If it's not, in the aqueous environment, right, it will be oxidized to iron 3 hydroxide. Okay, but the iron 2, if it's not oxidized to the iron 3 hydroxide, it will cause the phantom reaction. Then it causes the ROS, oxygen radicals. Okay, and then they will cause cellular damage. Okay, and also aging. All these radicals. So they must be tightly bound and solubilized. Okay, so this is a complex ion transport and storage system. So if I ask you to discuss the metal management, ion management in the mammals, okay, you must tell me how it's being stored, how is it being transported. That means how they are being managed in our system. Okay, so this is the process of what happens when the iron enters the body. So through a diet, right? Okay, stomach acid, ascorbic acid help to release the Fe2+ from the food, and then it's really absorbed by the body. It's reabsorbed back into the blood through the small intestine. Okay, once in the blood, the iron 2+ is oxidized to iron 3+, catalyzed by the enzyme peroxidase. Okay, so iron 3+, not iron hydroxide. So once they are oxidized to iron 3+, they will pick up by the transferrin. So the first keyword is serum transferrin, the iron transport protein found in the blood system, in the serum. That's why it's called serum transferrin, the iron transport system found in the serum. Okay, iron transport in the blood. Okay, free. If they are not bound to, if they are not taken up by the transferrin, they will be converted to hydrated iron oxide. Okay, that is useless. Once it's classified as iron 3 oxide, it's useless. Normally, only a very small percentage happens. Because once the iron 2 enters the bloodstream, there are so many transferrins, so they will quickly pick up the iron 3+. Okay, and then it will transport to the site where it's needed or to be stored. Okay, so this is the one. So transferrin carrying the iron to site where it is needed, or it will be transferred to the iron storage form, which is known as ferritin. So another keyword is ferritin. Ferritin is the iron storage form. The iron storage form, ferritin. Basically, it's just a ball encapsulating the iron 3. Okay. So ferritin, and when a lot of ferritin comes together, it will become hemosiderin. Later I'll cover this in detail. Found in the liver, spleen, and bone marrow. See all this part in bone marrow, they are stored there. Okay, bone marrow is for the red blood cells. The liver is our detoxifying system, so they need iron there. Okay. So the key thing is serum transferrin transport iron in the system. Ferritin is the storage form of iron in the system. Okay, so let us look at the structure of ferritin. Okay, it's actually not very well understood, but this is what the information that they draw upon in picture. So it's a protein of 450 kilodalton, 24 subunits that is present in every cell type. Consists of a large hollow ball of protein encasing a spherical core of hydrated iron 3 oxide. So this is the iron 3 oxide. Okay, actually the iron 3 combines with phosphate group to form crystallites. The iron 3, it combines with phosphate groups to form crystallites. They call it crystallites. That's why it precipitate within the core of the ferritin. Okay, the diameter of course is about 18 angstrom. It contains up to 4,500 atoms. Okay, appears to be covered by a layer of phosphate groups, which probably serve to link the iron oxide particle to the protein shield. So there's a mixture of iron 3 and phosphate. So they come together and form crystallites. So they also think that the phosphate also helps to hold the iron in place within the ferritin molecule. Okay, so this is all you need to write. Okay, ferritin. Basically, the iron is stored in the form of ferritin, which basically is just a ball of iron surrounded by the subunits, 24 subunits. Okay, I think there's 24. That's it. Okay. Iron storage. Okay, I think it's stated here. Ferritin serves to store iron non-toxic form, to deposit in the safe form and transfer to areas where it's needed. So free iron is toxic. Okay, as I mentioned here, formation of free radicals via the phantom reaction. Okay, apoferritin binds and stores enzyme in the ferrite state. Ferrite state is iron 3. Enzyme. Okay. When you remove the substrate, you call it an apo enzyme. That means when you remove the metal center, it's an apo enzyme. So ferritin contains iron. If you remove the iron, we call it apoferritin. Okay, that means in an enzyme, right? You remove like carboxyl peptidase, it contains zinc metal. If I remove the zinc, it's called apocarboxylase. The word apo means the iron component is removed from the metalloenzyme or metalloprotein in this case. So ferritin refers to the protein case with the iron. Apoferritin means it's just the protein. Okay, our practical will be on transferring, how the transferring bind to the iron. Okay, so as ferritin accumulates within cells of this one is not important. So as more ferritin come together, they form hemosiderin. As more ferritin come together, right, more of the protein they aggregate together, they will form hemosiderin. Okay. So this one is also another one. I mentioned, right, iron 2 is oxidized to iron 3 and then it enters the system, right? But some say it enters, then it get oxidized. So it's not well understood. So like this, iron enters and leaves ferritin is not well understood. Okay, the core can only be formed from aqueous Fe2 plus and oxygen Fe3 plus accompanies or follows incorporation. So the iron 2 plus can be oxidized to iron 3 plus and then it enters the ferritin core. Or it can enter and along the way it gets oxidized to iron 3 plus. Or it can be, you go inside the middle and then it gets oxidized. So basically, the key thing is they are stored as iron 3 plus. Okay, and it's in combination with phosphate. And we call it iron 3 crystallites. Okay? So basically, this is all you need to know for ferritin. Okay, very simple. Okay? So if I ask you to discuss the metal management, when I'm in a good mood, when I set exam question in a good mood, right? This is our question, if I set some question, write as much as possible. Okay? This is really it's a knowledge-based question. Okay? So of course in the paper there will be some knowledge-based, there will be some synthesis, and there will be some where you need to internalize some concepts. And sometimes you look at the question, right? Hey, this looks familiar. So you must use the correct mechanism. Like give an enzyme, right? You must give it the correct catalytic cycle. Sometimes I will say an unknown enzyme is discovered that can catalyze this reaction. Okay, then you have to think, which enzyme should be appropriate for these reactions. Okay, but sometimes I'll write down carboxyl peptidase catalyze this reaction, depending on the way the question is being presented to you. Okay, so transferrin are proteins that bind iron 3 plus very strongly, but reversibly. Okay, they must be reversible. Once they reach the site, they must give the iron 3 plus, right? They cannot hold on to iron 3 plus, then the body will be deprived of iron 3 plus. So those transferrin that are found in the serum, we call it serum transferrin. And those that are found in the milk, right, is called lactoferrin. Lactoferrin. I think it's called lactotransferrin. Let me see. Lactoferrin. So serum transferrin in blood, lactoferrin in milk. Okay, this one is in birds. We only concern with transferrin in blood and lactoferrin in milk. So this is only in sorry, I'm not actually good in the bio aspect. So last time I asked my wife, because I was reading through the notes. So I told you lactoferrin, because later I'm going to discuss also. So it's after you give birth, then the milk production will come in, right? So that's where after the woman gives birth, right? Give birth, then that's where the milk generation takes place, right? I think the process is called lactation, right?
I
Is it?
I think like during pregnancy,
Towards the end.
stage, the milk already.
Towards the end. So that's where it's important. Later you'll see why, I'll explain to you why breastfed infants, right, they won't fall sick for the first 2 to 3 months. Okay? So the lactoferrin is found in the milk. Okay? Then the serum transferrin is found in the serum. Okay? So how to visualize this transferrin is by a Pac-Man. Okay, that's how I tell you it's like a Pac-Man. Okay? So that it consists of 2 loops that contain 2 domains, and each molecule of transferrin can bind to two iron atoms, iron 3+. Okay, so it's a Pac-Man. Okay, in the presence of iron 3+, and also an important anion in the form of bicarbonate, right? The clamp will close, then the ion will be securely placed inside, and then it will be transported to the site. Okay, so this is basically consists of 2 loops that contain 2 domains that are joined by a short peptide chain. Okay, to create a hydrophobic metal binding site. So reversible binds 2 iron 3 atoms with iron FAD. So in our practical, right, we are going to use the transferrin from cow. Bovine transferrin. So we're going to see what's the loading capacity of transferrin. Okay, so it's a Pac-Man, 2 loops joined together by a short peptide chain, and each domain can bind to 1 ion. Okay, clear? The transferrin must be near to iron, and there must be a bicarbonate anion. If not, the clamp will not close. So this is what happened. In the domain, right, there are 2 thyroxine residues, 1 cysteine, and 1 aspartic acid. So this is the active site for transferrin, right? Active site. Okay, so when I say apotransferrin, right, that means nothing. Apotransferrin, nothing. Only the 4 residues. Okay, transferrin, iron. So the binding will take place in the presence of a negatively charged anion in the form of bicarbonate. So this is the bicarbonate. Without bicarbonate, it won't bind to iron because you need to have the octahedral structure. Iron likes octahedral structure. So the 2 oxygen donor from the bicarbonate will provide the octahedral structure. If not, it will not be kept in place. Okay? So this is important. Okay, if I ask you to describe transferrin. Okay, so this you need to provide. Okay, these are questions if you memorize, you'll get full credit. Okay, or draw the catalytic site, draw the active site of transferrin and how iron is being bound to the transferrin. So you need to tell me that the active site contains 2 tyrosine, 1 cysteine, and 1 aspartic acids. And in the presence of negative charge bicarbonate, the iron will be held in place in the form of octahedral geometry. Okay, so the amino acid residues containing iron include 2 thyroxine, aspartic acid, and cysteine, along with bidentate carbonate. Each transferrin molecule has 2 deep clamps, so 2 iron 3 can be bound to 1 molecule of molecule of transferrin. Each clamp is like a hinge clamp that is open in the absence of, so it's open. When there's iron and carbonate, it will clamp it down. Okay? So iron 3+, right? Iron 3+, O negative, O negative, O negative. This iron 3+, remember I said it will be bound as iron 3+. Once it's in the blood, it oxidizes to iron 3+, and then the transferrin will come and grab you. Okay? So iron 3+, O minus, O minus, O minus. So the iron 3+ is neutralized by the the residues within the active site. Right, O negative, O negative, O negative 3 plus, so neutralize it, right? And the bidentate, CO3 2 minus, right? The charge of this bicarbonate is neutralized by surrounding amino acids. There will be positive charge of protonated form of nitrogen group. Right? Like arginine, histidine, it can be protonated. It will also balance out the charge of the bicarbonate. So I state here, the carbonic anion is balanced by positive charge of nearby amino acids. Basically, it refers to your protonated nitrogen containing side chain. Okay, so must know this structure. Okay, so this is a cartoon showing. I have a video. Oh, I have a video. I don't know whether it works. Let's see whether it works. This cartoon is just for information. I will not ask you to reproduce this cartoon. Okay? It's very difficult. So this is what happened. This is apotransferrin. Without the metal, iron is called apo. I put the apo in front. So apotransferrin is here. They are in the bloodstream. So this is the inside the cell. So what happens is once there's iron 3 plus, right, it will bound to your iron to form the iron-related transferrin. And then it will enter the cell via a process called endocytosis. Okay, that means it will pop off. It's a budding process. It will pop off. So once inside, okay, the receptors will be removed. Uncoating. The receptor is important because these are the receptors that help the cell surface to recognize. Without the receptor, right, it will be floating around. So it's important. Then thereafter, right, and there will be an energy-dependent process to remove the iron from the transferrin. Okay, and then iron that is released, right, they will pop off. They will come out from this part of vesicle to form the ferritin, or it can be used for DNA replication or hemoglobin synthesis. And then same thing by another process, exocytosis, right? Okay, the apotransferrin will be recycled. So this is how iron 3 plus is being transported into the cell, either to be stored or to be utilized. Okay? Okay, now we have to talk about bacteria. Okay, when bacteria or fungi invade the human body, they compete with the body for iron. Okay, once they're in the bloodstream, right? Okay, if the iron is not being bound to transferrin, it will be converted to iron 3 oxide. Then it's useless in the aqueous environment. If it's iron 3 oxide, the Fe3 plus is not useful to the bacteria. Okay, but they have to compete with transferrin. Then the transferrin is called, there are so many transferrin now, so they will bind to iron 3. So in this case, the bacteria will be deprived from iron. Then it will not survive, right? Okay, this is normal. So lactoferrin is a potent antibacterial transferrin. Okay, milk contains lactoferrin. Okay, when new infant, right, their immune system is not fully developed. So in the case of the breastfed infant, right, basically they are drinking the milk. So the milk contains lactoferrin. So it serves as an immune system. So if there's an infection, right, okay, that is what happens. Okay, the lactoferrin will actually capture all the iron, and then it will deprive the bacteria from an iron source. So eventually, the bacterial infection will not take place. That's why first 3 months, I have 2 kids. First two months, right? Okay, they are quite healthy. They won't fall sick. So this is one reason why the breastfed infants, right, they are stronger in the first 2 months because of this effect, antibacterial effect of the lactoferrin. Okay, they deprive the bacteria from an iron source. So in an iron deprived environment, they can't survive. So this is what happened in the lactoferrin. But the bacteria, they won't give the fight so easily. So since you have transferrin, right, I will release another ligand that has higher affinity than transferrin. So that in terms of the kinetic and all the thermodynamic factors, right, I will capture the iron faster than the transferrin. So this is what happened. In order to overcome this environment, they have evolved. They were for iron poor environment, right? Because iron is captured by transferrin. Many bacteria release iron complexing agent called siderophores to satisfy the iron needs. So once they invade the bloodstream, right, they will release siderophores. And these siderophores are actually iron complexing agents. So they will complex to iron and they will transport it back into the bacterial cell so that they can survive. Okay, so this is another aspect which we need to cover also, the siderophores. They are actually iron complexing agent synthesized and released by bacteria in the bloodstream. Okay, they have higher low molecular weight, remarkably high affinity for iron 3. Of course, you must have a higher affinity, right? If you have low affinity, you can't compete with transferrin. You will lose out. Okay, so the soluble siderophore iron complex is really absorbed into the bacterial cell. So siderophore, they are actually iron complexing agent. There are 2 classes, peptide and hydroxylate. Okay, so siderophores come in the 2 forms. Hydroxylate, we are coming to the end of the lesson here. I think I should be able to finish my issue. Okay, I know you are tired. After, give me an excuse, I'm so tired. From 9:30 to 12:30. Luckily, I took a nap. Really, I took a nap from 5:30 to then my alarm clock 6:15. Wow. Because I don't think I can survive the whole day. First day after a long break, about 1 month. Okay, so there are 2 general categories, hydroxylate and catecholic. The key thing I need you all to know is to identify the donor atoms that bind to your iron. So, all this is the 2 oxygen atom. Same thing here, 2 oxygen atom of benzene ring. Okay? Okay, so these are the 2 that will coordinate to your center. Okay, so this is the hydroxylate and catecholic. So hydroxylate is here. Can you see the 2 carbonyl O and the NO? Don't give it the N, it's not the N, it's the 2 oxygen atoms that coordinate to the iron center. See, the 2O, hydroxylate. Hydroxylate refers to this group, NO. So this is the carbonyl group, so they coordinate to iron. Okay, and this is the catecholic, where the 2 oxygen on the benzene ring coordinate to iron. So in both cases, right, the iron adopts the octahedral geometry. Okay, so I can give you some imaginary structure and I ask you to propose the binding site. So you must know the function of catecholic and hydroxylate. Okay, and then if I ask you to propose a structure, right, just a simple form. In this manner will be fine. Okay, you highlight the donor atoms that are responsible for binding to the iron, and then you can draw a generic structure to show how it's being coordinated to iron in an octahedral environment. Okay, so you look at this, right? Okay, this is very straightforward. That means if this structure is given to you, right? Okay, you just highlight these are the catecholic structure. These are the binding site that binds to your iron center. Okay, and this is the hydroxylate. And the binding site will be here, here, and here. Students will give me these 2. Some will give me A-. Okay, so you must really know what catechol ligands are and what hydroxylate ligands are. So this is the hydroxylate. This is the hydroxylate. So these are the two. These are the two binding sites. Not these two. Okay, these two and these two. And if you can look at it right, there are single bonds in between, right? This is facilitate the folding to form the octahedral structure. Okay, all these structure here, right? They provide the flexibility of the complex to generate the octahedral geometry of the bound ion. Okay. Same thing here. So the functional groups responsible will be your okay. So I can give you some structures are complicated, but you need to identify the molecular atoms. Okay, so the mechanism by which the siderophores bound iron are transported into the bacterial cell. The first method, okay, siderophore. This is the apo siderophore. It can be either catechol or hydroxylate. Okay, this is the cell interior. This is the cell membrane. This is the cell exterior. That means it's the bloodstream. My time is up. Okay. Second one. So first thing, the apo siderophore. They bind to the iron. Okay. So once it's bound, right, it form the iron-bound siderophores. Then one mechanism is transported directly into the cell. One shot. Okay, and then it will be the iron 2 will be released in a non-destructive method. Non-destructive means what? The siderophore can be reused. It can be sent back to the bloodstream to get more iron into the bacterial cell. Okay, this is the first method. Straightforward. Bind to iron, go through the cell membrane into the interior of the cell, release the iron, I go back again, and bind more iron. The other one is like a taxi. It's a secondary transport mechanism. So the first thing, the siderophore binds to your iron, and then you will transfer the iron to another secondary transport protein. And then the secondary transport protein, this is within the cell membrane. And then it will pass through the cell membrane, and then the ion will be released into the interior of the cell. Look at this secondary transport. It's not inside the cell. It's embedded within the cell membrane. Okay? See? This is the bloodstream. Collect the iron being transferred to the secondary transport protein, which is inside the cell membrane, and then at the interior aspect, right, you release iron too, and then recycle. This is a secondary transport mechanism, or we call it taxi. Okay, or Uber now. Okay. The last one is drastic. The siderophores is released from the interior of cell out to the bloodstream, capture the iron, then it will go back into the bloodstream, and then the iron is released via a hydrolase enzyme. This is the destructive method. The siderophore can no longer be recycled back. Okay, so three siderophore transfer mechanism. So if I ask you to discuss siderophore transfer mechanism, please give me this. I encourage some students when I ask them to discuss about siderophore transfer mechanism. I see the transferrin transport protein. Okay, I said briefly discuss the siderophore transfer mechanism, or maybe how iron is being assimilated into the cell and bacterial cell interior. Then I see transferrin, 2-thyroxine distillate bicarbonate ion. What a waste. You memorize the transferrin and you plug into the wrong question. So read the question carefully. Okay, because during exam environment, when you look at the question, right, your mindset, actually what I feel is when I look at the question, right, my mindset is that theory. Then then when I'm attempting a question, I won't change. So read carefully, make sure you look at the word. Siderophores give me this. Transferring, then you discuss the 2-tyrosine, 1-aspartic acid, and the 1-histidine and the bicarbonate. Okay? And then important thing is also you must know structure of catecholate and hydroxylate. Okay, because some of the structures that I give you they are very similar. So you need to identify the toning atom. Okay, so this one I will not change you. Okay, basically this one is because these thioneins, right, they are very good because they help to detoxify our body, especially from cadmium and mercury, lead, and copper 1+. Copper 1+ is not useful for us. Copper 2+, yes. Okay. So the good thing about these thioneins, right, they contain of cysteine because all these metals, right, they prefer soft ligand, so in the form of cysteine. Okay, sulfur donor atoms. So these thioneins, right, they contain of cysteine residues. Okay, and then they can bind to all these type of toxic elements. Okay, I think one thionein, right, one thionein molecule can bind up to 7 metal ions. That means they are not very specific. Okay, cadmium they take, mercury they take, and this is how our body remove all these trace elements. Okay. Okay, serve as detoxification agent. Anyway, this one I will not test you on this. The key thing is your metal management. So metal management, please take note of the iron storage form, the iron, the serial transferring, how iron is being bound to the cleft, and also the importance of siderophores, catecholate and hydroxylate. You're ready to go already. Okay. Alright, so thank you for your attention. I will see you next week on the oxygen carrier proteins. And go on, log into Blackboard. I already posted the assignment instructions and also the rubrics of a marking, all there. This one I think I put under term paper, yes. Okay, so try to work on it. This one I think 20%, right? Yes. I think it's 20%. And then your practical is 50%.